What's going on, everybody? It's Mikey with American Grit, and as you can tell, our beloved John is back from his rowing adventures of the last 3 weeks. Brother, welcome home. Welcome back. Glad to see you that you made it in one piece. You're extremely tan now.
I am very tan. I don't know if the people on I don't know if the camera will be able to show, but I am like definitely darker than I was.
You're a tan guy, man. Tell me about it, man. How'd it go?
It went really well, man. There was definitely a lot of stuff that we thought we knew that we didn't know that once you get on the boat, you're gonna realize like, wow, I had it so egregiously wrong with all of my prepping and all of my planning. The big thing that I think hit us is rowing on a rowing machine versus rowing on an actual like ocean rowing boat. Way different, but similar enough to really mess with your head.
Yeah.
What you actually want to do when you're training for this, if we have any guys that are like fitness gurus out there or anything, is you want to train like a power lifter. You want to train to be strong because you're not going to be able to sustain like a rapid pace on those oars just because, one, you're having to meet pace with somebody else.
Sure.
And then two, the water gives a lot more resistance than those rowing machines ever would. And so just the whole motion of it, how you have to stroke and then get the blades out of the water and then return to the front. It's a lot different than what you would do on...
I think it's a lot more technical than what you anticipate.
It's extremely technical. And
from what I understand is like one mistake is unforgiving. Like
it's, I mean, no, it's like unforgiving. You definitely know. And there are things like, you know, catching crab or whatever where like the oar doesn't get out of the water and you try to push forward with it entirely and it just they say it's like catching a crab, not those kind of crabs, good God, but like
the wrong kind of crabs.
But like what'll happen is you'll try to push forward but that oar will still be partially in the water and you'll get this like and it'll throw off your rhythm. And so we really had to adapt a lot and get used to training differently than we'd been training for the previous 3 months on the rowing erg. But I think we got it all ironed out. One thing we definitely realized is it's going to be a lot more miserable than we initially thought. The cabins on the boat, one of the things that we have to push is hatch discipline because you don't want those cabins to get wet at all because that's your place of comfort, right? Yeah. Out on the deck of the boat, man, it's a free-for-all. Whatever's out there, it's going to get soaked, it's going to get wet.
Sure.
But in the cabin, you want to be as dry as possible because that's your only place away from the elements.
Yeah.
You know,
it's also going to save you from like, you know, like
big waves,
potential issues.
Any potential issues like that. It's a solid boat, but you know, hatch discipline is hard because those cabins get so hot. Now, granted, we were in Mobile, Alabama, doing all of our training.
A little warm there.
During August, you know. And so for those of you that don't know what Mobile, Alabama is like in August, it's a lot like San Antonio, Texas. Now imagine being in a boat cabin that just absorbs all the heat and has no circulation because all the hatches have to be closed and they're watertight.
No,
now imagine being in that.
It's like being in a steam room.
It's like being in a sauna for you know, like 2 hours at a time because those were during the day. Our rest periods were 2 hours on, 2 hours off. Then at night we're gonna go to 3 hours on, 3 hours off, and it was just, dude, it was hot. I'm from San Antonio. Yeah. Right, like I'm from here. Like he doesn't really get to me. He doesn't really bother me.
There's a difference between San Antonio heat and Mobile, Alabama heat. Though. It's a different kind of heat. You know, like barometric wise and like, you know, humidity wise, just a huge difference, man.
It was, and that's the thing is like even I, who was very accustomed to the heat, very acclimated to heat, was like, hey, it's a little warm in them cabins. So I can only imagine how Evan, who's from Colorado, Carl, who's from Wyoming, and Luke, who spends a lot of time in Alaska, had to acclimate to this. Yeah. This just
so it was probably an easier transition for you than the other teammates. I'm assuming.
I don't know how they felt, but I can only assume that if I was like, wow, it's kind of like I was never uncomfortable, but I was always like, wow, it's kind of hot in here.
Yeah.
they were probably feeling at least the same.
Sure.
So
you missed quite a bit, man. And I wanted to go over some of the stories, and because I know a lot of the people watching are curious about your opinion on some of these things. A lot of the stories that we went over, we've had a weird couple 3 weeks.
Yeah,
man.
like I don't know if I can leave you guys unsupervised. Like I don't know if I can disconnect from the world for any real period of time without it going to hell in a handbasket.
It's been kind of interesting, man. And before we get started on this, first of all, I want to say thank you to you for giving me the opportunity to host your show. I appreciate that. I hope I did you justice and everything.
I don't know. I didn't watch. Job. I was busy rowing.
That's true. Well, I hope I did justice for you guys out there.
Did you guys like it? Did you guys like it with him there? I saw little bits and pieces. I liked it.
I also want to say a huge thank you to Jazz for filling in as co-hosting duties. Jazz, brother, thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. I think that if I was successful, it's only because you helped make me successful. So thank you on that one as well, man. So let's jump to it, man. Let's get into some stories.
All right. I heard we're gonna do this like kind of lightning round.
We got a lot to cover, so we're gonna do kind of lightning round. So we're gonna basically stick to. I'm gonna stick to the cliff notes.
Okay.
And if you have questions, please ask.
All right.
Because like you said, you were busy rowing for a while.
Yeah, I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
But here's one that I know you know about.
Okay.
Epstein.
Man, how in the world could everybody from the age of 2 to 102 know that this is gonna happen, and then it still happened? Like, we all called it, and it still happened. We're like, hey, man, that guy's probably gonna get quote-unquote suicided. And then everybody's like, haha, that's a funny joke. And then it happened, and we're like, we weren't joking.
Yeah.
We were being serious.
Yeah.
We knew this was gonna happen, and it still happened. Like, how brazenly just like, to the American people and the victims of his crimes, like how big of a middle finger is that to every one of them? Just like, yeah, you can call that he's going to get suicide or commit suicide or whatever.
Playing devil's advocate, we don't know what really happened because we don't. We all have our. We don't know. Our what do you call it? We'll say assumptions. But we don't know what happened.
Man,
but I agree with you.
We all know what happened. Like, that dude was about to expose some powerful people that made more money than God, and he got lit up for it.
So
fact.
There's that one.
Fact.
Put a check mark on Epstein. On Epstein.
That's a fact.
We had a break. We had a crack in the glass ceiling for the ladies of the military. The first female F-35 pilot.
Okay, like
she came out.
Like, I talked about this with you pre-show. Like, I don't know why this is such a big deal, because in my mind, like, women have been flying fighter jets for a long time.
More than capable.
More than capable. I don't know why this is news. We're just like, to me, I'm like, well, yeah, of course they're female fighter pilots. Like, of course one would fly the F-35 because that's the newest plane, and that's what we're phasing into and getting rid of all the old planes. So to me, I'm just like good job.
It's more of just a, yeah, good on you.
Like, hey, like, good on you, but I'm sure that, some woman was going to be the first. It's not like we told them, like, F-35s for boys only. Like, nobody said that. Nobody said that.
No girls allowed in the F-35.
It's our club. Nobody said that. Nobody did that. I don't know why we're mad.
That's very true. It's it's really not surprising. I mean, if we can allow females into combat arms, MOSs, and stuff like that nowadays, why would the F-35 be such a surprise?
Like,
that's very good point.
Why is that a big deal? Like, I don't know.
C-130s and their broken wings. They had a bunch of cracks in their wings.
Everybody knows C-130s don't fly because of their wings or the propellers. They fly because they're so damn ugly that the earth repels them. Everybody knows this. This is common knowledge. Nobody gives a shit. That's why nobody gives a shit about the wings.
Yeah.
Because they don't use those for actual flight. The earth is just like,
I would like to point out that John does not have an aeronautical engineering degree.
Yeah, but I read a book and I read popular science when I was a kid growing up. So
it's funny. I actually spoke to a buddy of mine, my boy Galen. Shout out, bro.
Yeah.
Who is an F-35? He's a C-130 pilot.
Yeah.
And all he's done during the whole hurricane thing lately is move planes. So he's been flying like back and forth. He's in Fort Worth today because he's just been like, we got to get him out of here because they're going to need him for like supply drops and whatnot because it is a workhorse.
Oh yeah, it's a look,
it's a work. It always has been.
That's the thing about like people are like, oh, the C-130, their wings are breaking. I'm like, it'll fly for another 30 years with broken wings. That plane,
like, you can't break them, dude.
That plane is what would be the military equivalent? That plane is like the Air Force's version of the Whoopie. Like it's a safe thing.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
It's a safe thing. It'll always be there.
Yeah.
Survive a nuclear holocaust. C-130s are still up and good, sir.
C-130s, Keith Richards, and cockroaches will survive nuclear war.
Yeah.
Got
and
it.
Betty White. And Betty White.
And Betty White. God willing.
Right?
Okay. Here's a fun one.
All right.
There was a lady in, I believe it was in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Who got busted with meth in her front hole. And Louisiana. She was in Louisiana. That's right.
Okay, big
and then
big
when they were like,
there.
"Hey, where'd you get this?" She's like, "I don't know. It's not mine."
I mean, look. As Dave Chappelle said, right? If she can claim that it's not hers, then her boyfriend better be able to say that he ain't paying for that.
Well, sure.
I'm just saying.
Sure.
I'm just saying, man.
So
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, how do you?
You are of the opinion that it is hers.
It is definitely hers.
Okay.
That is definitely her. That is definitely her meth. Who hides meth in their front hole though? Like,
I think we're all
like, wouldn't that that would have to like ruin it, right? Can you ruin meth?
I'm not a meth expert. I don't know. I'm not Walter White or Jesse Pinkman, so I'm not sure.
Any of our producers or you guys work really hard? Are you any y'all meth experts? No.
Dick Turn, you're kind of a hillbilly and have some ties to
so
Louisiana.
we're gonna say no on both accounts.
No, y'all don't know anything about meth, or know the meth isn't y'all's.
Plead the fifth.
You can't ruin the meth.
All right.
Okay.
Moving along. The Blue Angels touch tips. Blue Angels were flying in formation.
Of course they did.
Their fancy formation. They got a little too close and dinged each other a little bit. Everybody landed safely, but still happened.
I'm not even mad. Like, I'm not even surprised. Like, of course the Blue Angels would do something. They're like, no, look, we're going to say it was an accident.
And you know they
but
were
we
like,
did it
it
on
wasn't
purpose.
that big of a deal.
Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Because Mikey, and I know I'm going to get some pushback on this because San Antonio is an Air Force town primarily.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get some pushback on this. Blue Angels, better than the Thunderbirds, 10 out of 10.
I will co-sign that all day long.
100%.
All day long. Yeah.
100%. They fly lower, they fly faster,
Yep.
and in true naval tradition, and since the Marine Corps is technically the Department of the Navy, touch tips.
Yeah.
Touch tips.
And I don't
In naval
like.
fashion.
I think Jazz and I referenced the fact that they have to get their flight suits specially designed to hold those things. You know what I mean? Like, because those are just ridiculous.
They're like that.
Here's a good one because I know how you love commies.
Hate commies.
Hong Kong protests.
Man.
Now, here's my question. Do you think it would be plausible for us to trade Portland for Hong Kong?
Well, here's the problem, right? Here's the real problem. Because, like, on the surface, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely love Hong Kong.
Just seeing those protesters waving the American flag, singing the national anthem and stuff, that warmed my
quoting
heart.
Patrick Henry, give me liberty or death.
I just thought it was awesome that regardless of how much people, you know, in society are discouraged by, you know, the current climate and everything, that we are still a beacon of freedom to the rest of the world, because there are simply people out there who really they want to have what we have, and we need to remember and recognize how fortunate we really are.
Like, I think I said it when these protests really began to kick off on my personal like Facebook page. I said people are still in love with the idea of America. Mm-hmm. If they knew what was really going on here, they'd be like, well, you guys really don't have shit figured out, do you? And we'd be like, no. Ever since the gorilla died, we haven't known what to do.
We're trying to.
We're trying to
get
figure
back
it
on
out.
track.
But they're still in love.
They killed Harambe and we lost our minds.
Yeah. They still love the idea that we stand for, that you know those memes say, like, so they can say whatever they want? Yeah. And we're going to give them guns? Yeah. Man, this country's going to be lit. Yeah, it is. Like, that's the idea of America that the people in Hong Kong are fighting for, is this just bodacious, just disrespect for authoritarian rule.
Sure.
That's what they respect. And here's my answer to the trade Hong Kong for Portland. I would say yes if it didn't put commies on the same land mass as me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because I can't
it's
have
disgusting. I would be 24/7 in the shower,
Yeah.
like having to
I
bathe.
would just,
the,
like they don't make
ugh, I
they
would
don't
just
make
feel
water
dirty.
hot enough to get me
I would
clean.
feel dirty. I would have to. My loofah would be replaced with steel wool. I'd just be like sitting in the shower, just like, oh.
I like it. All right, moving along. All right, so the USS Boxer was driving through the Straits of Hormuz, as they do, and they were like, hey, want to play games in the Straits of Hormuz, Iran? We're going to stick an LAV-25 on our flight deck and ratchet strap that thing down. Good luck with that 25mm Bushmaster.
That's such a Marine Corps thing to do as well.
You
It's
know
just
that when they were like, what can we do? There was some
We
like
can
salty
ghetto rig,
gunny,
yeah.
some salty ass gunny or mass sergeant was like, I got it.
Yeah, I know what we're going to do. Guys, I know what we're going to do. We're going to strap the LAV to the deck.
Yeah.
Why?
It's
Have
like-
you seen the gun on that? Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
An
That's a good
LAV-25
point.
has a 25mm Bushmaster
was-
chain gun.
Yeah.
And it is,
Yeah.
I think, barks fire, and it's easier to maneuver and faster than anything that the Navy really has because it's
Yeah.
made for ground close combat,
Yeah.
closer combat.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's an amazing idea.
think it'd be
Anti-piracy
hilarious.
operations,
Yeah, just-
that
Let off a few rounds from that bad boy.
Dude.
My only question is, can it track low enough to hit them? You know, can the turret track low enough to hit them when they, you know?
the thing about
they're
being in the
elevated.
ocean, though, you'd be able to see them coming.
Well, yeah,
You know,
you
like,
would.
you-
I'm just saying, like, you know, will it, like, can it track low enough to
No,
actually do?
I
some
will
damage?
give if the little pirate boat gets close enough to where the LAV-25 on the side of a flight deck can't track low enough, those guys kind of deserve to get close. They've made it that far.
I would say maybe they get a little, you know, F-35 missile up there. You know,
Yeah, little
up there.
Sure. Yeah.
And don't worry, guys, it doesn't count because it wasn't below the waist. I know the rules. I
Yep.
just wanted to scare you all.
No punching today.
Every time I do this, I just want to scare you all.
Okay.
Boom.
So there was an Air Force cop, the DOD cop in an Air Force base, and
Wait,
Anders.
so was he in the Air Force or was he DOD?
He's DOD cop.
Okay, DOD cop.
And
so we
this-
can't make fun of the Air Force
This
for this.
this is in Guam,
Okay.
at Anders Air Force Base,
Okay.
and so apparently there was a guy who was involved in a high-speed chase outside of Guam with the local PD. The guy decided it would be a great idea to jump onto the base to hide. Air Force police, obviously, DOD police, had to respond to the guy jumping on the base, so he's responding.
Like, hey, get off our base. Leave your domestic assault charges out in your own world, man.
The
You
guy's
bring a crip on
hiding.
here.
The guy's hiding in a jungle, hops
Yeah.
out, stabs the Air Force cop.
That sucks.
Air Force cop puts like 2 or 3 hot ones in him,
Oh yeah.
kills the guy.
Ha!
I think good on you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like, bro, like you got stabbed, so not like perfect score, but good score.
It's like a recon guy with a combat action ribbon. It's like
Yeah,
still
like-
a badass, but
yeah, like-
aren't you supposed to not get caught? Like,
Yeah.
aren't you not supposed to
Yeah,
get in the
why
fight?
do you have that?
yeah, I agree.
Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. So here's a fun one.
Okay.
There was a Marine reservist up in Oklahoma who decided it would be a good idea to stalk a poolee and then kidnap her with the intention of holding her till she was 18. Yeah.
What?
So
Say that again.
he was helping out the recruiters.
So he wasn't a recruiter.
No. He was. This is a Lance Corporal. It was E3.
Of course he was a.
And he's a reservist.
Like, of course, and a reserve. Oh my gosh.
And so he was helping out the recruiters at a pool function with the poolies. Mm-hmm. And there was an individual there who he decided would be a good idea
Yeah.
to start following. Was quite smitten by her. She was not having these advances, so
Yeah.
he took it upon himself to locate, close with, and destroy her right as a citizen to be free, and kidnapped her. And with the intent, and then he took her across state lines, which became a federal crime. And he was in Arkansas, going to hold her until she was 18.
He was in Arkansas. Where did it start?
He started in Oklahoma. He jumped.
Started in
He jumped to Arkansas.
Jump to Arkansas.
Yep. This is why we can't have nice things, Sarah.
Yeah,
you are right.
This is like, yeah. What? Why, man?
I don't know. But here's
In the name of stupid boot decisions,
right.
Like, that has got to be.
You know who I feel bad for,
dumbest.
though? Is his platoon sergeant that now has to modify his weekly safety brief
Right?
to
Like,
include,
dude,
hey, no
don't-
kidnapping.
No kidnapping chicks that you find really attractive in case that wasn't clear before.
And not to mention, this is an underage girl, so it's also you add
pedophile.
a pedophile charge on top of that.
Look,
Like,
let's see. The jokes are like, let's see, don't drink and drive. Don't, if you think about hurting yourself, please talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Also, please don't be a pedophile and kidnap people.
yeah.
Like,
So there's that one.
way to go, asshole.
Yeah.
Like, now you have to make everybody sit through that stupid crap because you can't.
There's gonna be like
because you can't get over the fact that an underage girl turned you down.
There's going to be a new brief.
God.
Like, they're probably going to have to do. Like, remember they used to do the combat trafficking persons
Oh,
and all that? You got to do that annual training. They're
Yeah,
going to
there's
have to
gonna be a
modify that to, like, pick it up. I mean, it is going to be ridiculous, man.
Like, what was his logistical plan this entire time? He's an E3 reservist.
I don't know what his day job was.
Yeah,
I don't
if he's
know.
making bank in his day job, like, that's fine. But I know he ain't making fat cash from that E3 reservist.
I'm going to say
pay.
it that if he's in the mindset to make a decision to kidnap someone and hold them till they're 18,
he's probably not of the mindset.
he's probably not making
to
a lot of
hold
money in his day job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm
you're
gonna
probably
say
not
that.
smart enough to hold a day job.
Yeah. So
Mikey, I can't leave anymore. What's going on with the world when I leave?
I don't know, buddy. I don't know.
You better get a tight rein on these individuals, Mikey. I'm gonna be gone for like 2 months.
So there was a Florida teacher who decided it would be a good idea to explain to his students the appropriate way to
Conduct a mass shooting.
and how to get the biggest impact.
I mean,
To make matters worse, he was a Marine veteran.
he was an officer.
Was he an officer?
I heard he was an officer.
Oh, see, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so
I think it's pretty common sense this day and age with the climate and everything that's out there. I don't
like
think
maybe
that
don't say that.
wrong time and place, man.
I mean,
Wrong time
I
and
understand.
place.
We talked about
You're
it,
not teaching tacticians, you're teaching social studies.
Exactly. Like we were when we were in
Let's,
high school, like our generation,
Yeah.
right? Because we're only a few years apart.
Yeah.
If our teacher would have done this, we'd probably be like, "Oh, that's handy knowledge to have." Like
Yeah.
it could be way worse. Like, definitely don't go in and do stuff like this
Yeah.
because we were all amped up, ready to go fight Al Qaeda's and shit.
Yeah. Well,
This generation,
not when we weren't doing that when I was in high school because I'm old. But yeah.
you're like 4 years older.
I
than
graduated in 99. So that was before we didn't know what Al Qaeda was.
me. The USS Cole.
That was 98. That's true.
Yeah. Fight me now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyways.
No, it wasn't. That was 2000.
Whatever, shut up. Anyways, the point is, I don't entirely, like, I read what he told him, and, like, the dude's not entirely wrong. Like, Dave Chappelle even said it in his new special, like, you're having all these mass shooting drills. The mass shooter's probably in the class, like, oh, so this is where everybody's...
Taking notes.
Like, this is where everybody's gonna hide, right? Everybody has to come here. Good. Like,
Yeah.
And my defense of this guy, I'm not gonna defend everything he did, all right? Because you are right. It was wrong place, wrong time. But
Not
what
a
he
good
said, 100% right. Because so far, all these jackwagons have been amateurs.
From a tactical decision making,
yeah,
sure.
from
But
a
we're not playing TDGs with children.
Oh no,
it's not
I'm not
cool.
saying I'm not saying we should.
Like-
I'm just saying his information
Like how
was spot on.
How pathetic do you have to be like, I'm gonna act like a badass in front of my students and show them how I would do it? Like, you're pathetic in my opinion, man. Like, why are you showing off something so terrible to kids like that?
So maybe we cancel the meeting after the show between you and I in my office, and I won't.
Between you and me is one thing.
I'm making a joke.
Yeah, between you and me
I'm
would be
making
one
a
thing.
joke.
I got it. It just wasn't a funny one.
No, it was fun. You just didn't go with it. But like no, like I said, you shouldn't.
So
His information was correct. His disclosing of said information was egregiously wrong.
Yeah.
But like I'm sitting here and I'm kind of like, well, I mean, no, like when I first saw the story,
like I get it. I get it. But
maybe, and maybe because I like riling up some people and whatnot. Maybe he had good intentions in saying like, hey, you guys, like, this has been, everything that we've seen so far has been on amateur hour. This could be so much worse.
Like
maybe you should take some first aid classes. Maybe you should understand how to do
I want to
something.
hope that was his intention.
I want to hope that too. I don't think
but
it was.
I don't know, dude.
I don't think it was.
I just
but
don't
I wish
know.
it was.
I want to hope that it was. was.
I want to
I'm
hope
with
that
you
it
on
was,
that.
but hope's not a plan.
So we talked about Florida. Let's move on to our other favorite state, California, where a CHL instructor shot his own student.
Like, why though? like, hey, trust us. Gun owners are responsible and know what they're doing. CHL instructor shoots a student. Not that guy.
Yeah, like you set us back, man.
Like you're sitting, like,
You're
come
setting us
on,
back.
man. Like, are you a plant? Like, did the gun grabbers send you to get all these certifications just so you could be an ass and make us look bad? I feel like he's a plant. He's got to be a plant, man.
So Bernie says, I learned how to f shit up from watching MacGyver, but nobody ever got hurt in that show. That's because we don't know how to make explosions out of paper clips and, well, maybe some of us do. But God, I missed that show. What a great show.
That was a good show. They tried to bring
good
it
throwback,
back.
Bernie. I like
They
that.
tried to bring it back with modern era MacGyver. I don't think it got very many.
I don't
seasons.
think it took.
I think it had like 2 seasons.
Yeah, well, it's because
it?
nowadays kids.
Yeah, it's still on.
Yeah, but the thing is that
it's
now,
like we're not saying it's a bad show.
kids got the internet now, though. They can be like, I already know that.
Yeah. I get that.
And our last story to catch you up to speed, my friend, is a judge in Montana is my hero.
I like this.
He caught 2 guys that were trying to. There was 2 felons that were trying to. They claimed to be military to get an easier sentence through his veteran court, and what they didn't know is that the justice system actually does its due diligence and looked into their background and were like, these guys didn't serve. So on top of the 10-year sentences that they got anyways, they also get to hold signs every Memorial Day and Labor Day that say, I am not a veteran, I'm a liar, I stole valor. Got some construction going on upstairs. They're fixing our drive-through window.
That's right.
Yeah.
For those of you guys that don't know, before I left, a car came screaming through our window here at Grunt Style, just above us.
Yeah.
And so
Literally
they're fixing it.
right there.
Literally. Right there.
Yeah.
Right
So,
there.
but yeah, so this judge turned around and said, yeah, you're going to do that. You're also going to write the names of every single casualty that we've had in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I want to say he added 9/11.
Yeah.
And you're also going to write
Obituary?
He's got to rewrite the obituaries of all the 46 individuals from Montana who have died in those conflicts.
Not to mention write thank you notes to a bunch of organizations.
That's right. He has to write apology letters.
Yeah.
They have to write apology letters to like DAV, to AMVETS. I mean, the VFW. There's like 6 different organizations.
So
441 community hours.
That's right, and they added 441 community service
So,
hours.
like, I'll be honest.
So, like,
my mind,
they
I'm
got
kind of,
these guys.
I'm kind of out on. The Veterans Court. I may rile up some people when I say this. I'm not really the biggest fan of that.
Yep.
Because I think that when you have a set of laws for one group of the population and then a set of laws for the other group of the population, I don't think that really does due diligence for our the way that we're set up as a nation. Like, everybody has to abide by the same laws. Now, like, if you need help because of like your service gave you a TBI or PTSD, like, there's ways that like you can get that help, and we can the courts can definitely help you get that.
Sure.
But like, having
You shouldn't
a
get
separate,
special treatment.
I don't think you should get the world is look. I'll be 100% honest.
I agree with you. There shouldn't be 2 justice systems.
There shouldn't, and I run into this all the time. People are almost fed up with the special treatment that veterans get. And I get it. We do a dangerous job when there's a war.
Yeah.
Right? But we are dudes and chicks. We're not Supermen.
Yeah.
And we are prone to the same follies that all men and women are.
Yeah.
And it sucks because we want to have this idea built up in our head that
we want to
believe that all veterans are these honorable, brave, just heroic warriors.
And the simple fact is that there are scumbags out there.
They're just scumbags, and I don't see the point in setting up an entirely new justice system, to deal with some of this stuff.
Sure.
Like, I'm glad that these guys are getting, the book thrown at them. I really am.
Yeah.
But like, I really wish that we just didn't have a veterans court in the first, because I feel like it makes us seem helpless. Like that we're less like, oh, these poor idiots that are transitioning out, they can't get right legally. So they need
I see how that
treatment.
is. Like we seem like we're broken.
Yeah, and I'm not. Look, I have issues. You know, I have things.
We know.
You have issues. We all have issues. You know, but like I'm not a defunct piece of equipment. Like I can still walk, talk, and chew bubble gum at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need a special justice system. And I think a lot of veterans get caught up in this. They've been told that they're a victim for so long that they start to believe it and they start to buy into it, and it's counterproductive to their post-traumatic stress development that James Mattis talked about.
Yeah, I can hear that.
So you know, I'm glad these idiots got the book thrown at them.
Yeah, these guys are scumbags.
Like these guys are scumbags,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I'm not sold on the idea of a veterans court.
Well,
You know, take it to real court.
we'll say that that's a conversation for another day because we are out of time.
We are out of time. We are
John,
out of time.
welcome back, buddy.
Thanks,
Thank you
man.
again
I
for
can't wait to
letting
see
me.
you guys on Monday. So, a special announcement for Monday, everybody. In order to be nice to those West Coasters, the people behind the enemy lines, the chair is against the wall. The chair is against... No, we're going to be changing our Monday show time to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So that means if you're in California, that you can watch the show at 9 a.m. Your
Yep.
time. If you're over on the East Coast, it'll be noon your time.
Yep.
And if you're in the middle of the ocean like I will be in 4 months, I have no idea what time zone you'll be in because you got me adding too many numbers
Yeah,
together.
that's way too much
But
math
yeah,
for
come
us.
this Monday, we're going to try it for a couple weeks, see if it works better for everybody in the nation. If it works better, we'll keep it there. If it doesn't, we'll be back at our normal time. So this Monday, don't get mad if you don't see us at 9 a.m. We'll be on at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then 12 p.m.
Yep.
Or wait, no.
And
Which one is it?
Yeah, 12 p.m. You're right. For Eastern.
No, I did it backwards. I
No.
can't add.
It'll be-
Mountain Standard Time would be 10.
Yeah.
I did 8. I went backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry I'm an idiot.
And whatever program you guys are on in the Arizona area, like whatever
like-
one you're hanging out with.
Look, it'll be
That's
on
when it'll be.
11 a.m. Central Standard Time. You figure out your own damn time zone. I'm not your time zone guy.
Anyways, we will see y'all Monday. Thank you for tuning in. Share this out. Get us out here. Welcome back, John. That's all I got, man.
All right. That's all I got.
Take
See
care.
you guys Monday.